So I'm here with Heather, Madame Shugah.
What's up?
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
I make vegan, gluten-free, soy-free cookies. I make ice cream. I make ice cream cakes, and whatever baked goods come to my mind. What are you making for me?
I'm making
what are we doing?
This is my signature dish, and I wanted to cook something special for you because, like, sometimes I'll make something and sometimes I'll make something and I'll be like, it'll be something new that I've like not done before, and I'll experiment a little bit. But today, like, having tried your food and loving it, I always try something that I know is a winner.
Yeah, the old standby.
Yeah,
you can guarantee that you're gonna make it the bomb.
Exactly. So this is called Zeviostrone. So when I was traveling through Italy, I stopped off in this little town called Zevio, and while I was there, I went to their like local little market and got all like fresh local ingredients, all organic stuff, and I made a minestrone style dish that had like a homemade pesto in it, and I used like local beans and things like that. Like everything in the dish was like really local, and it just made me.
Sorry.
Yeah, we could do whatever we want. It went from being like a little town that it seemed kind of boring when I got there. So like then I met a lot of the locals, and they like took me out around town and things like that. And I was just like, I really want to name a dish after the area.
Oh, okay.
So that's where Zeviostrone kind of came into it. So yeah, it's real simple, like a real simple kind of minestrone style dish. But then I've got like the basil and the pesto and things like that in there. So it's just really nice. Like it's just a nice way to kind of go with it. So yeah, how did you get into like the baked goods and everything?
It was a fluke.
Okay.
I actually went to school to be a sex therapist.
Okay.
And actually before I started Madame Shugah, I had a cheesecake business. Cool. It wasn't vegan. It was basically a family recipe that's like 4 generations old.
Nice. Okay.
But then my mom passed away back in 2009, and she was like the cheesecake queen. And so everyone's like, well, who's gonna make my cheesecake now? And I was like, dude, I've been making that shit since I was 14.
Yeah.
So I did, because I had time between like community college and university. So I was like, well, I might as well start a business. And then I was gluten-free back in the early 2000s, and everything I tried at the store sucked. So I was like, you know what? If you want something done right, you just got to do it yourself. Yeah. So I made the cookie. I mean, it has evolved into what it is today, but I made that general cookie, and people were like, oh my God, this is so good. You need to start a business. So once I graduated from university, I started doing this full time. Yeah. And that's how that happened. My passion is still, I wanted to be a sex therapist, but then over the years, I've actually changed my trajectory and want to do sex research. Okay. So rather than trying to get into a PsyD program, I want to go to a PhD program, but that can't happen until like, you know, I'm actually turning a profit with my company. Yeah. And that's fine. This is obviously the path I'm meant to be on, and it's just peaks and valleys every single day, but I've come too far to give up, and I don't want to.
What got you so passionate about sex?
I mean, I think it's something
I'm pretty passionate about it, but I always get intrigued as to why other people are.
Well,
it's
I usually don't talk about this with food people, but I was in the sex industry for like pretty much 18 to 30. Yeah. I did phone sex, I did internet porn, I was behind the cameras. Yeah. And I used to edit porn. And I had other things which I shouldn't talk about. Okay. But we'll talk about I've always been the person that people are like, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I feel so comfortable. And I'm like, well, that's a gift. Yeah. But then after so many years of already being a therapist without being a therapist, I'm sick of fucking listening to people. Now I have questions, I have theories, I want answers. And
if you're good at something, you should never do it for free.
Yeah, and I want to do research. I'm like, okay. I'm getting older now. I've seen the way the world works, and now I need answers. Okay. Yeah. That's
really interesting, and I just think it's so interesting that like we all go to like, I know all schools are different, things like that, or at night, but I'm a big proponent of thinking about something called determinism, where like we're all born into society from like different backgrounds and things like that, and then we all kind of find a path and it's like everything that happens to us kind of changes this path. And I'm just always interested in like how people find whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Because you know, you don't meet someone every day who like makes awesome vegan cookies and wants to be a sex therapist. Like, it's,
no.
Exactly.
Then like most people like, oh, I went to like, you know, culinary school. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I have a psych degree.
Yeah.
Which helps for business. I mean, before I did this, I was also a marketing consultant. So, you know, obviously that's very psychology based.
Yeah.
But I used to do marketing for like weed companies.
Oh, okay.
Not food.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all transferable, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because like you say, there's a lot of psychology involved.
Yeah, it's all psychology.
So if you were to go and do more like sex therapy stuff, what would you do with the business? Would you try and
well, hopefully the business would be running
people
itself. Yeah, like I'd be at a co-packer, or, you know, like I wouldn't have to be as hands-on. Like someone like Yvonne, you know, she has a whole crew.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, that allows her to do so many other things, where it's like, I do everything.
Yeah.
I do everything, the packaging, the distribution, the manufacturing, the marketing. It's a lot for one person to do, especially now that I started making ice cream and ice cream cakes. So I used to make ice cream sandwiches, but now everyone's making ice cream sandwiches, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta stay on top of things. I have to stay innovative.
Yeah. And
one of my favorite things as a kid was ice cream cake. There was this place called Carvel.
Okay.
And they made the best ice cream cakes. And I want to mimic one of theirs. I'm not quite there yet, but I will be.
Well, what I've noticed about you so far, so like you say stuff like that, like you're not quite there yet and things like that. Everything I try is awesome, so I think you're definitely a perfectionist.
I'm glad people like it, but it doesn't matter what other people think. It matters what I think.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, if that's what a perfectionist is, then I wouldn't call myself that, but it's like, I hold myself to a higher standard.
Yeah, which is important. So like when I do demos or anything like that, people are constantly going like, oh, you've used maple syrup. Like, I wouldn't use maple syrup. Like, I'd use something else. And I'm like, use something else then. I'm like, keep tasting it. Yeah. And until you're happy, don't stop.
Word. Yeah, it's like, do what's best for you. Yeah. I'm only a guide.
Exactly, yeah. What's your favorite kind of food to eat? What's your favorite dish?
Mexican food.
Mexican food. Well, saying
no,
that.
It's funny because someone once asked me, what's your favorite type of American cuisine? I'm all Mexican food. Because, you know, I grew up here in LA. Yeah. And all my friends are Mexican. All my relationships have been with Mexican guys. Like, that to me, you know, like, that's the culture I grew up in.
Well, it's a seductive food.
Yeah, I mean, except the beans.
Yeah.
How seductive is like, let's have burritos.
Yeah. Yeah. But like the first time we went out to eat was Purgatory, wasn't it? Yeah. And then we went to Sana Vegan.
Yes.
And that place is awesome.
That's some next level shit.
Yeah. Sana Vegan and then Block Party. It's really good. What I find amazing out here is the tortillas are so much bigger than at home. Oh, dude, so yeah. When I used to go, I mean, this was like 10, 12 years ago when I would be in London. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, yeah, we got a Mexican food place. And I'm just like, what a joke. Dude, like, you don't come to America to eat fish and chips. Yeah, well, now, though, people are coming to London and they want to try... It's improved. No, Temple of Satan. So they want to try. I didn't get to go there when I was there last. Well, yeah, it wasn't there last time. Well, but I think they're going to come over to America at some point. I was in London last July. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, we were around then. I went to Redemption. I went to Cook Daily. Cook Daily's great, yeah. It was nice going to Cook Daily because I have so many like food allergies that it was just so nice to get like simple like brown rice with like a proper curry with a bunch of vegetables. Yeah, and King does it well. He does it really well, and he's quite the character. He is quite the character, and he's definitely someone who like he's got a lot of respect in the vegan community. Yeah. And it's kind of like he's got a lot of celebrities come to King Cook Daily to go and like hang and stuff like that. Because he has the London and also in Croydon, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then obviously you've got the Picky Wops. My boys. I can't wait to try their pizza. And did you see they have the stuffed crust today? They're like, oh, should we make it stuffed crust? And I'm like, duh. Yeah, maybe give it a try. Go on then, give me a slice. As if But them
It's like a
guys,
stoner dream come true.
yeah. So obviously
Especially,
you guys
I don't know
won't
anyone that does vegan stuffed crust. I have not had a stuffed crust pizza as a vegan.
Really?
Yeah, and it's been a long
Ooh.
time.
Well, I hope, because them guys are coming back over soon, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to be here for Eat Drink Vegan.
And I hope, I mean, it'd be amazing if they trialled it for that.
Did you bring your own knife, by the way?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't bring my
damn.
own knife. No, I, last time I went traveling, I did take my own knife.
Okay.
But my problem is, if I'm coming to somewhere like America where I might be taking a lot of internal flights, I don't want to get luggage just for a knife.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, no, I don't blame you.
No, exactly. But yeah, back home I've got a dope knife that like was like a custom made job for me.
Wow.
Placed in Peckham.
Is it a Hattori Hanzo?
Oh, literally, I watched them make it. Like I filmed them make it,
Wow.
and then it's interesting. I'm cutting tomato right now actually because they made it for me, cooled it off, and then they just like handed it to me and put a tomato down, and they were like, "Hit it,
like,
dude."
whoosh.
Yeah, well, I was like that, like
Holy
taking slices.
shit.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, there's few things like getting.
I love a good knife.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they have them in England. They're called Cutco.
Oh no, I don't think
And they're
so.
very expensive knives,
Yeah.
but they have a lifetime guarantee.
Okay.
And your Cutco rep will come to your house and sharpen your knives for you.
That's
It's so
insane.
pimp.
Yeah, that is pimp.
But then you get suckered into buying even more.
Just because it's
It's
such
like,
a
all
good
right, if
service.
this guy's gonna come to my house, I might as well buy another knife. And it's always something I need. I'm like, oh, that's yes, I need. Oh, perfect.
You go, you
Like
try
I didn't
it,
know I needed it, but
and then
I
you start
do.
making friends, and then you hang out all the time.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see from this dish.
This looks
like,
beautiful.
I call it.
Can I do an Insta story on you right now?
Yeah, do it right now. Yeah, that's cool.
Heck yeah.
So basically, I started looking more and more into like the nutritionist stuff because the reason I started cooking as a vegan was just to get people like into veganism and like to get more people eating more
cooking
plants.
for me right now. And we're
But
filming.
this is the perfect meal.
I'm
like,
sure anything you cook for me will be
macro-wise.
the perfect meal.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for you to try it. I really
I'm
can't.
excited to eat.
Get some nutritional yeast on the go as well.
The old nooch.
Old nooch. Season this bad boy up. So, is that kind of how you got into cooking then? When you said about the old kind of cheesecake recipe and stuff
Well,
like that?
that was
the
kind of
root
how I
in?
got into baking. Cooking, I have always been into cooking because, okay, I'm an only child.
Okay.
And my dad was a nurse and he worked nights and my mom worked all day. So there was no one
Latchkey
really
stuff.
there to cook for him.
Yeah.
So I would get home from school, and this was when I was like 7, 8 years old. I would get home and cook dinner for him. So because my mom would get home from work,
Yeah.
and then maybe half an hour later, my dad would leave for work.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into cooking, and I always wanted to be really independent. You know, like I always wanted to do my own laundry. I wanted to cook. So that's how I got into cooking.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, well, it's
I
there's
wish
a lot
I
of
could
emotion
cook more.
attached.
Like the baking thing, I was like, all right, but I do love cooking.
Yeah.
And when I do cooking, people are like, oh, I didn't know you could cook. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Well, now
There's
you
a
know.
reason I have good food tattooed on my knuckles.
Exactly. And a burn mark on your boot.
Yeah, yeah, man. Hashtag chef life.
Exactly. I saw your story the other day and it was just like, what, oven 1,
like-
boot 0.
Yeah, it looks worse than it is. Like I don't even feel it, but it looks gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always said chicks love scars. I was like, dude, been on other chicks? I don't know if dudes like scars.
I don't know. I think dude likes scars if you're cooking them a bomb meal at the time you get a scar though. I think that's the key. Yeah, pasta wise today I'm using a fettuccine but like a spinach infused one.
Dope.
So
I haven't had this. I'm excited to
oh
try
really?
it.
Yeah, they're just like I've started trying to get away from pastas that are like heavy in gluten.
the heavy semolina.
Yeah, just because it's great that there's so many ones.
Dude, there's
that
so
are-
many options. I mean, like, dude, like,
Yeah.
what did I see? Like chickpea, or I can't do quinoa, but what else was? Oh god, what did I see where I was like blown away? Like lentil. I was like, word.
People can't get enough protein, but we've got protein in that pasta as well. You're
Yeah.
Like, okay, I think it's game on.
I'm so dude. Okay, so like I was vegetarian back in the 90s.
Yeah.
My grandparents are actually the ones that introduced me to veganism
Okay.
for health reasons. But you know, back in junior high, I used to be in the Environmental Action Club, and we used to watch PETA videos with like animal slaughter. Now we never saw videos of dairy. then when I found out, to me, in my personal opinion, dairy is worse than slaughter. Because
dairy is the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the worst industry, yeah.
Yeah, because they're alive and being tortured, whereas with slaughter, they're dead.
Yeah.
But with dairy, you're raping them, you're ripping their children away, and then you're just knocking them up again. So I didn't know that back then, so that's why I was vegetarian.
Dairy's scary.
It's
Definitely.
the worst.
When you find out the extent of what's going on, you feel lied to. That was the biggest feeling
We've
I
been
had.
indoctrinated since we were young to think that this is okay, this is acceptable. We are more important, and that's not the case.
What I find really interesting about America as well, I mean, we've got similar laws in the UK, but it's not as heavy as here, is the ag-gag laws. Have you heard about these?
No.
So ag-gag laws are like, say there's like a pig farm down the road from here, and every morning you're coming to work and you can see they're putting pollution in the water or they're like treating the animals badly. If you start posting about it, you get sued, even if it's true.
Holy shit.
Even if it's true, they can sue you because you're affecting their business. Like, how insane is that?
Wow.
Or you've already got a government that's subsidising it, and then you're being told you've got to shut up about anything that's going on. And I think that's so
crazy.
That's such a problem in society. Like, that is a real problem at the minute, and I do worry about that because you can't say 1 minute like, oh yeah, we've got freedom of speech, and then also tell people they can't. Yeah. Oh no, but no, if money's involved.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense. But like, pasta's going to cook for like another minute. We're going to bang the pasta in because I like it to all be like combined, and I'll serve it up. It'll be super tasty.
And I'm so excited.
Cool. Right, serve this bad boy up.
Fuck yeah.
That's what I got the tongs for.
Stoked.
Yeah, so as you can see, ton of veggies in here. It's a really good transition dish for people.
Bomb.
Yeah.
After a day of making cookies, I'm excited.
That's it, yeah. I could see, you messaged me earlier like having to change the time slightly because you're so busy.
Everything worked out.
Worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some more here for everyone in the kitchen, which is going to be nice. People can try a bit more of it. Yeah, I tried your white chocolate macadamia nut cookies,
white.
which is my favourite type of cookie anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you showed up with a bag of them and you didn't realise how much you'd made me happy.
No, but it's hard to make vegan white chocolate, so I had to start making my own. Everything I have to make from scratch because I don't use soy, and there's soy lecithin in all the chips. Cheers,
there
mate.
You go.
Muy caliente. Do you use any salt?
No.
It fucking tastes like it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I like how the pasta's perfectly al dente.
Exactly. I don't like to use salt in this dish because
it doesn't need it.
When you add the beans as well and the tin beans, there's a lot of sodium in it.
Word.
So it makes it nice and healthy if you don't. But yeah.
Dude, it's great. Good. Thanks. Fuck yeah. It's so rare that someone cooks for me.
Exactly.
Thank you.
As I said before we did the video, I've got a lot of love for you and I just wanted to share you with the world because
I'm glad we got to hang out.
more people need Madame Shugah in their life.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for watching. I'll put all your details below. Be nice to each other and goodbye.